one of you guys' point, which is point number 3 here on
Can you
your
show?
guys'
Can you flash the document on the screen?
Yeah, definitely can. So this is 2, this is number 3 right here. So you guys were having issues with the pattern origin where it wouldn't either align or it wasn't creating miters. Is that correct?
In this particular ones, it only goes at an inch. So over here, you see there is a 8 feet. Yeah, so the panels are 8 feet over here, and over here there shows a small reveal, but they shouldn't be. They should wrap around and go around.
So that's what we were calling to be like a miter panel in the corner. So essentially, kind of just wraps around. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe this is the situation. Right. So this is what you guys are talking about right here.
So this one has been done manually. But is this your file or our file?
That's your.
This is your file.
We achieved this doing manually.
Oh, you got okay. So your issue was that this was like moved or.
Oh, so that was that needs to be fixed. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to understand
what the issue was.
Yes.
So I think we're on the same page. I think the issue was that the panels were supposed to wrap around instead of being trimmed or cut at the corner. Yep. Yeah. So that is the issue, okay. Jonathan. Yes.
Let me undo that then. So when you guys converted to panels, it didn't automatically wrap
it around. Correct.
Okay, awesome. So I think I'm not exactly sure how you guys did this, but I'm gonna walk it through on my end, so you guys can replicate it for whenever you guys are doing it. So whenever you guys are doing corners like this, you have to run both walls simultaneously. And each wall is going to also need its origin point on it as well. So now that both these walls have an origin point, we can actually go to the generate panel, click OK, and select both walls. Once you click finish, I had one issue, I'm not sure what that one is.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but does the height of your no, starting point, reference point, origin. So does it matter at what line the origin is? Like because this one,
it just needs to be at the bottom edge of any of the panels.
Bottom left, yeah. So essentially, when you think about it, the tool is only kind of trying to understand what's the pattern, right? The layout of the pattern. So the height doesn't matter. Even you don't want to do the top right, but you want to do something towards the bottom left or towards the left side origin point, yeah. As long as the pattern is repeated.
Fair enough. दोनों वाले दिखता होगा अपने दोनों वाले दिखने वैसे वही वाले दिखता होगा एक वाले दिखता होगा दोनों वाले दिखले तब हम बोलते हैं हॉबी के दो टाइप में
DG, I'm not sure what's going on, but literally when we tried this earlier, this worked. So
yeah, it worked. Do it again. See what happened. Put the origin point in the place that we put it earlier. Just to make sure that's not the problem. So what we did to troubleshoot it, as Jonathan is doing, we added the origin point, and we went through the process.
I need to convert the pattern. That's why.
That's what you did. We just follow the same process that you guys normally did. We did not do anything different. All we did is add an additional origin point on the right wall, and then when you created the panels, it did create the panel, the miter corner.
So now that I create the panels, it should make mitered corners here. So now you'll see that these are actually mitered pieces.
অটোমেটিক কিন্তু ওটা ওদেরকে ম্যানুয়ালি ফিক্স করতে
কিন্তু এখন ওটা যেটা বলছে এটা সঠিক না
এটা সঠিক বাট এটা তো ম্যানুয়ালি ফিক্স করে দিছে
ও ম্যানুয়াল ও যেটা বলছে এইভাবে করতে হবে So this is the only way, right? My team just told me that, yeah, this is the manual way. This is the way they did it. এইভাবে আপনারা করছেন
হ্যাঁ manually
হ্যাঁ, so
manually করতে হবে না automatic
ম্যানুয়ালি করেনি, ওরা প্রতি ওয়ালে অরিজিন সেট করতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ আপনি হ্যাঁ দুই ওয়ালে
আরে wait আমি প্রশ্ন যেটা করছি আমাদের কোশ্চেন ছিল এটা
I'm not sure what you mean by manual. Wait, to us, manual means that you select each panel individually and you change it and you adjust the dimensions individually. But this is the tool doing it with the steps as it normally does. The only thing here is that you just add an extra origin point. I don't see how that's manual.
এদিকে 3 ফিট থাকলে এদিকে 5 ফিট 8 ফিট অটোমেটিক
ওটা তো হয়
বাট এটা ম্যানুয়ালি করে নিতে হবে
কিন্তু ওর কেন হয়েছে না
ও তো ম্যানুয়ালি করছে 5 ফিট
না ও একটা অরিজিন দিছে একটা অরিজিন দিছে অটো তারপরে ক্রিয়েট প্যাটার্ন দিছে তাই গেছে
ও এটা কি মুভ করছিল না এভাবে ধরে আমি চাচ্ছি যে এটা মুভ না করে এটা 8 ফিট হবে
Okay, so my team is saying, so you see where you put the origin, right?
Yep.
You move that around, right?
You can put it anywhere, yeah.
Anywhere.
অ্যাপ্লাই
Yeah, you can.
ওইটা এখানে দিয়ে তারপর অ্যাপ্লাই করতে হবে অথবা কিন্তু ওইটা ওখানে দেওয়ার সমস্যা কি
আমি একটা প্রশ্ন করি ইনসাইড 90 ডিগ্রি কর্নার বোথ প্যানেলের যোগফল 8 ফিটের বেশি হয়ে গেল এটা অটোমেটিক্যালি আমার দুইটার যোগফল 8 ফিট হতে হবে ইনসাইড আউটসাইড সবই তো আমার তো এটা হচ্ছে মাইটার
ইনসাইডে তো মাইটার থাকে না
The outside corner, Jonathan, did it wrap around the wall automatically? I'm unable to see, unfortunately.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Yes, before it did. So,
Before it did.
because I undid it because I was trying to see what you guys needed.
Yeah.
So let me run that real quick, and then I'll show it to you.
The reason why my team confused because initially you moved the line manually. Remember the first thing. So they're saying that can it be done without moving that line? But
oh yeah, 100%, 100%. The only reason why I was moving the line, and which I undid, was because I was trying to understand. I thought your issue was that this line was like too close up here for a second.
oh, okay.
The location of the line has nothing to do with it. One thing that can cause issues is if your line is like right here, like actually
on the corner.
right, like literally right there, that would probably cause an issue.
Fair enough.
So let me undo that. So since there is no like line here, and this is going like straight across, the computer will see it as a mitered system. So now that we have origin points on all 3 walls, what we can do is grab the convert pattern tool, select these, convert the pattern. Over here at this point, you can actually do any adjustments, like if any of the panels need to be larger or if there's any windows, anything like that. And then once that's done, you can generate the panel by clicking on them and then clicking finish. Now you'll notice the inside corner probably won't have
Okay, Jonathan, I think we can proceed to the next one. Tarek, how are you? Are you on your pajamas, ready to go to sleep?
Yes, like you can see me.
Okay, so I know you jumped into the first one, but we just essentially just went over the first issue. It no issue with the plugin tool yet. It's more of the approach on something that was something additionally to do to be able to make make it work. So far it's not training so much, more just understanding the way that the tool works better.
All right.
Okay, so we just took care of that one, so we're going to the next one. Go ahead, Jonathan.
All right.
awesome. So the next one is actually talking about these line drawings that are kind of extruding from the like pitch of the roof itself.
Mhm.
So what the developers have in mind with this is that it's a lot harder for the tool to actually make irregular shapes. So what we're doing is using the voids in order to do that. That's why we have the new tools, which we're gonna go over in a little bit. But
Okay.
So
in
there,
essence, it's
yeah,
correct that it did this.
yes, think of it as it's what do you call them? Think of it as a wireframe preset of what the actual panel would be before it gets
Position,
trimmed.
yeah.
Yeah, so the placement of the actual panel that will get trimmed. So it's kind of detecting what panel would be there before it gets trimmed. Once we go to the trimming part, that will go away. Because that's it's a temporary placement of what the actual panel would be, like a preview. But
Mhm.
ideally they will go away eventually. But yeah, so then the developers and we were thinking about that is a good placeholder to kind of display what the actual panel would look like before it gets
Okay.
trimmed.
Okay.
So I think that addresses that question. Because yeah, it is odd that they're there, but since it's a temporary step, they're kind of
Okay.
necessary for now.
So
Okay.
আপনি যখন বাক্সটা আসে ট্রিম করলে ওই একটা বাক্স থেকে যায়, রাইট? বাকিগুলা ট্রিম হয় কিন্তু একটা বাক্স থেকে যায়। না?
ট্রিম করে ট্রিম আমাদের ফাইলে আমরা করতে পারি।
So we weren't able to trim it in our side. If that's something quickly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can totally show you guys.
that's the next step, right, Jonathan? That's the next question.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they have a question about the wall that disappeared there, but we can jump to this.
Yeah, let's jump to the actual cutting. Yeah. Okay, so the cutting, while you're setting it up, Jonathan, I'll just describe it real quick. So the cutting essentially it's supposed to be a couple of steps, 2 steps essentially. But the idea of how the cutting tool is working is that it's essentially creating a generic family that is tracing the negative space of what the void cut would be, and then it's placing that family again onto the actual space or the wall, and then the tool is essentially cutting it. So the tool is doing that. Tool is creating the layout, and then the second part of it is cutting. I mean, it's creating the family, it's placing the family, and then it's cutting the family against the panels. So that's what the tool is doing. What we discovered is that it isn't completely fully perfect. Unfortunately, it cannot do it that way. So one of the things that we discovered is that when the cutting, I think you guys know how this works in Revit, when the cutting or the trimming of it is overlapping things that should not be cut, or the lines are way too close over the edges of geometry, there's an error. And that's what happened in this case. The automatic layout that it created for the wall was trying to trim an edge of a wall on panels that the geometry was too close. So instead of cutting it, it just stopped. It was an error. So we're gonna show you a way. We're gonna show you a way on how you can adjust the actual family or the cut slightly to avoid those issues, and then you should be able to run the tool easily.
Right on.
Okay.
Right on.
So then Jonathan, go ahead.
Yeah, so the way this tool works is basically just two tools to actually get the whole job finished. And then these kind of just do additional things once that the actual void is placed. So this first tool basically just allows you to select one of your walls that you need. So when you select it, it automatically draws, and let me change this. You're going to be able to see that there is an outline of your wall, and then there's another square encasing it. So basically, this is what the outline of your void is going to be once you convert it into a void. So right now, this is the perfect time to be able to like edit or like move things around if you need to. So for example, this right here, you probably want to cut the whole panel up here. And to be honest, we don't even need any of the bottom stuff down here. So why don't we just cut this and cut this? Because in essence, the only thing we need is a void in this top area right now. This other stuff is would just kind of just be floaty. So now that we have this shape right here, basically, we can go to our tool once again, go to the create cut family, and then once again, you're gonna have to click on your wall because that way it knows where to host the void. And then you have to select all of your lines that you have there, which are going to be your entire void. So once you do that, it's going to run the family, it's gonna import it, it's gonna mold it to your shape, and it's gonna place it in the right position.
Right.
Okay. And then you can see that actually cut everything here.
So don't think of it as a manual adjustment. Think of it as more of a designer adjustment, right? Is that you're kind of determining how the cutout is supposed to work efficiently. So then you essentially, the tool is already creating the outline automatically. It's already cutting it automatically. It's just that in some scenarios, when you have that issue, you just have to manipulate the lines just a little bit, essentially just to be able to create that. Jonathan, show them how to fix that little corner down there that we talked about, remember? So then, and then this is where you as a designer are gonna be able to see things like this. You see the corner on the bottom left, that triangle
So
that
you
did not
noticed
cut?
I accidentally missed a corner right here. So now you have the other tools right here, which the convert family to profile, you can actually hover over your void and it's gonna reconvert it into lines.
And now you can adjust the lines again.
So now I can just click on the line, press CS, which is going to
CS is create similar.
I can try to select this correctly.
This is this is a little tricky, Jonathan, right? So I have a question. You guys are understanding how the void works, right? Like creating the space that is cutting out, like a cookie cutter type of thing. Like you understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, the concept, yes.
Yeah. So then Jonathan is just kind of like just creating the space. The way I always imagine voids in Revit is it's essentially taking over a white piece of paper, and I just cut out what I have to put over, kind of cover up what I want to cut. That's essentially what you're doing. You're creating the sketch of what you're trying to cover, or quote unquote cut.
Right.
And then if the idea is that the tool is doing automatically by creating an actual square surrounding the space, and it's laying out the whole complete wall, sides, bottom, and top. But because it's assuming the tool is built to assume that you need to trim everywhere, right? But in some cases, you're only trimming the tops. You're not trimming the sides. You're not trimming the bottom. So that's when you kind of have to come in and make the slight adjustment, which is what Jonathan's doing. Now, what he's doing should take a lot less time. I mean, it's just gotta be able to kind of understand the drawing a little bit, but it should just be that one line, and you should be done after that. Yeah, he's trying to pick the line that goes to the actual one. Yeah, you're on wireframe, aren't you, Jonathan? Jonathan, are you there?
Yeah.
why don't you, okay, you got it. I was gonna say, why don't you just edit it from the beginning? Like recreate it and edit the line again from the beginning. That's probably gonna be way easier than trying to find that one line there. See, this is why it's good that the tool is doing this tracing for you, so you don't have to try to find those lines. So the only thing is you have to remove the lines you don't need, so you don't have to come back and redo it. So Jonathan is gonna run it one more time so that we don't take as long.
Right.
But the trimming and cutting tool is working. So it is working. It wasn't working for you on the specific scenario because of that concept that I was talking about earlier. So if you hover over, Jonathan, the way I would do it is to trim this one with this one here. Yeah. Yep. Let's just do that for now, yeah. And then trim that one straight across. And then you just remove the other. All you're doing after that is removing the other or pink lines you don't need. All right, now you finish the sketch. Now you go to the second step, which is cutting the family. You hit finish, select the lines, hit finish. And then this is because the family that we used is a 2022 family. So just don't be too concerned about that update. So it should be fine when it's updating. It's updating the generic family, the cuts. And now the cut should work. There it is, perfectly. Those on the back, those that you see are the ones from the back. So we kind of were a little, we were concerned ourselves too, because we thought it wasn't working and we realized they were the ones on the other side.
Right.
So the unfortunate thing here is that it has to be, the tool only cuts per face, essentially, right? It doesn't do all of them at the same time because it cannot do that. You have to do, one individual face every single time. It's currently not set up to do multiple walls, and it can't, because as you notice, the selection has to do with the elevation, right? The same elevation. You cannot do multiple elevations at the same time. But it works. Do you guys have any questions about this specific one?
Let me relay that to team very quickly.
Yeah. The other one, Jonathan, is the one about the wall the wall was missing, right?
Yes.
A quick question. So if, just in case, if there is like a window or something in the middle, would the cut tool work the same way, or would it be anything different?
Well, wouldn't that be addressed when you are placing the panels in the first place, because the window has boundaries already? So that was already done before this, isn't it?
So window যখন আপনি দিবেন আগে থেকেই তো প্যারামিটার করে দিবেন, তো ওটার মধ্যেই যাবে বলতেছে।
প্যানেল নেওয়ার সময় নেবে না, অ্যাপ্লাই করার সময় তো কেটে যাবে।
So yeah, so when we apply it, it will get cut off, right?
Yeah. So the way that it would work is, before, if it's just a plain wall, I understand it, but usually the wall should have a door or window, and when you're creating the pattern for that wall, the pattern detects the boundaries of the window, and it will not create patterns inside it. So it shouldn't be part of this option. The only times you should use this tool, if it's not a window, if it's not a door, if it's just a only opening, like just a cutout. That's the only times you'll need it. But a window and door, it doesn't need to use this tool. It does the other ones, uses the other ones.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to the next one, which is the third one. It was the third one before this one. And this is, so then, okay. So let me just paraphrase this one where you just looked at. This is not the tool issue. This is just, how to manage specific, scenarios where the trimming tool is overlapping geometry that doesn't match. That's really the thing. So all you're doing is just kind of readjusting the cutout that is going to trim. So then the tool is working, it's just another approach. The next one that Jonathan is going to show you, it isn't a tool and it is in training. I think we just discovered that it might be a mistake, or maybe it was the file you guys are working with was incomplete. But this one is very simple. It's just missing a wall. There is no wall. And what it did instead, it placed the actual things into, what was it, Jonathan? It was called like a part, like so then the tool doesn't work on anything that is not a wall. There's like a special family that got placed, and if you see over there on the properties box, it's called part. So it isn't a wall. So the tool doesn't work on that. So all we did is added a wall, and then it worked. So I don't know what happened here on your end, if you received this file without a wall, but that's essentially what happened.
So there's something wonky here for sure.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, main thing is that there's no wall. So
when we got the file, there was a wall. This happened after applying.
okay, so you're thinking the tool deleted the wall?
I'm not thinking.
Oh, no, yeah, and that's happened. We've had tools in the past that we work with plugins where it's like a fluke. I mean, we don't, sometimes we can't really explain it, but it's hard to know, right? So I think and the developers go into the API of the software really deep down, but we would have to get the file immediately, and they would end up reading the code in the file to understand if it happened. Since we can't tell if it did or not, the only thing we can help with is help troubleshoot what happened. And what happened is there's no wall. So that's why it didn't work. Okay.
If you go to the previous screenshot,
Yes, previous
The PDF?
A PDF.
এখানে পাঁচটা model
Yeah,
আছে।
Okay.
the Revit file.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, the Revit file has like 5 models.
Uh-huh.
Full model.
এই যে এখানে wall আছে।
So you see, there is a wall there. So that thing happened after applying.
Okay, Jonathan, select that one, see if there's a wall there. Or if it's also a parts. It
You
is a
see
wall.
there.
Okay, so run the tool from here, from this part. Do the next step. Because then it should essentially, whatever happened, then it should
Want to
happen.
Look at this real quick.
You want to see how the wall's joined? Oh, look at that. The line
So
is not
this
aligned on the wall.
This is what I'm finding right now.
It's not on
For
the
some
wall.
reason, your lines are off.
Zoom in
Oh.
closer. Zoom in closer, Jonathan, because it's hard to see. More. Do you see how the line is not placed on the wall? Not really sure how that could have happened because it needs a host, right? The lines need a host, so
So that happened when we converted the panel.
Converted.
When we converted the pattern, that happened automatically. We didn't
Go
do
back.
anything.
go back to the other one, the other drawing right before that one, Jonathan, on the right side. Like, remember that there's like a face right there. Okay.
এই যে এটা apply করতে।
Yeah, do the same thing on this one on the top view. Yeah, it's so then run this one. Run this one as a tool and see what happens if it actually does the same thing.
Is this not supposed to be joined?
No, I don't think are they joined? It looks like they're joined. But I don't see how that would be the reason to. So just run the tool. Let's see what happens. So we're gonna do what the team did, right? From here, you run the tool, and then let's see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
Okay. Now let me go. Yeah, it did the exact same thing, DG.
It did do it. Okay. So okay, so this is definitely weird.
We're gonna look into it with the dev team for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing that we can see right now from the wall of why it would do that. The only thing we could see that could happen is that if you see in the inside corner, the walls are not joined. That could be a thing. Jonathan, also it looks like the wall is not joined to the other one either. But yeah, that's very see those walls are not
Yeah,
joined.
these are not joined.
So join them and see what happens. So we're gonna try one more thing. If this works, then we know what the issue is. If this doesn't work, we have to talk to developers. But we're gonna join the walls just to see what happens.
Actually, they are joined.
The exterior one, I think you gotta zoom in more.
Yeah, both of these are not. Yeah, they're both joined, but they're not
They're not like trimmed.
merging properly. Yeah, it's weird. Oh, there we go.
There they are. Okay, and the outside corner.
They're just too short. So I'm honestly not positive that this should
Okay.
help it, but we can try.
We're gonna try this, and if not, we'll take this back to the dev team. But it's good that it's actually good that your team did the faces. So really do appreciate that. That was a great idea, and it's a great way to show the issues. Okay,
Thanks
so,
to you. I think
did it work? Let's see here.
No, I don't
go to
think it did.
Go to the plan view. Can you go to visual graphics and see if there's a hidden reference line somewhere in there that is not displaying? Because it looks to me like the tool is not detecting that wall. What about the wall on the bottom? Is the wall on the bottom extended out? There has to be something that is not aligned properly, Jonathan, because it's obviously reading no, that wouldn't matter either because you picked the one on the top. Okay. We're not gonna spend more time here, team. We're gonna talk to the developers, but the tool is doing something that creates an offset. Weirdly, it's creating an offset. It's not doing it for the actual wall. We don't know what could have happened. Okay. That is the final one, I think, before we talk about the other one. Is there any other ones, Jonathan? No, right?
No, that's it. Just trying to see the host on this.
Okay. Any other ones that were on the list that we didn't cover? Did we cover everything on the list?
Pretty much everything.
there is one more slide about the slanted walls.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So we cannot apply the pattern on the slanted walls. Post, sorry. Yeah, we cannot apply the post on the slanted walls. So Sattar over here made something up on the straight wall and then put an overlay and try to fix it manually. But
yeah,
it's supposed to.
So this is a slanted wall. When you're looking at it from the side, it is angled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jonathan, can you zoom in a little more? Huh. That wall is only a feature on 2025 and up, right? 2024 and up, Jonathan. That's not on 2022. We cannot create slanted walls after 2023, I think, or 2022.
I don't recall the exact year, but
yeah, there's so Autodesk Revit, you were not allowed to create angled walls and on previous versions. I believe it's a new feature on 2025 maybe or 2024. And since we're not using that as a reference, then the tool is not designed to work with slanted walls. So we would have to talk to the developers to understand. And this sounds to me like just a deeper feature that would not be part of what we're trying to accomplish. So especially because of the year version. I know that we've been working on this plugin for a couple of years now, so it makes sense why it would be outdated. But yeah, I don't think that tool is not able to do it. So this is the second thing. We'll take it back to developers to see what can be done in the plugin, if it's doable at all, or if it's
So-
something completely new.
So we're not able to put the host on it because it's slanted
That's
wall.
right.
My team did inform that they used slanted wall in 2022, I think. But it's
Yeah,
the
so-
problem is
So
create host the problem.
regardless, you couldn't write that. I mean, yeah, because it's the tool is looking to create a face that it's perpendicular. I mean, that's what it's doing. So the tool is not looking into angled walls. So that's I will ask to see what the effort is on this one, and I'll talk to Tarek. Tarek, we can take this one offline to see what the effort is on this one, since this wasn't part of the initial request. Okay, this is a very special condition that is not normal in Revit. Okay, so this is a good segue into the other one, Tarek. There's a second request. Jonathan, go to the very first one, in which you're asking to create custom panels. So we have essentially like a pre-selected sizing of the panels that's already got into place. And it looks to me that you guys are asking to be able to enter the sizing. Is that right?
That is correct, because we got a real project on our hand a couple of days ago with 93 inch, right? What was the number? Yeah, 93 inch. So there is, first of all, no way to put odd numbers, and
And it isn't set up this way either. This is another thing that it's in part of the initial scope, Tarek. This is the other second thing that we should discuss offline, because we had this listing from the original that is certain increments of distance, I mean sizing, like you have your standard panel sizings. And from what the team, it looks like you have an actual project where you essentially have a customized sizing. I don't know what this will do to the plugin, if it's a simple change or if it has to be recoded completely to allow custom sizing.
Is the sizing only even numbers? I forgot the.
Can you zoom in, Jonathan, a little bit more? I don't remember if they're even numbers or not, but it's definitely standard. Yes, there is. It is increments of 2 inches. Yeah.
No, I don't see how we only did that, because we don't limit our sizes to even numbers. We can take this offline.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that's the original list that we have for all the different panels that were created, because these are even to the standard essential sizing that were done. But on Forge and on the Savanini ones, and then even manually, you can readjust the lines. Once it's placing the lines into the software, you can make the sizing to be a little bit customizable. And then it creates the panels to be at a custom size. But what happens here is that the presets are not custom. The presets are just a set, double 2-inch increment, even numbers. So it sounds like the request now is from the starting point, to create to actually be able to enter a dimension rather than use a drop-down pre-selection.
How hard
so
would it be to pick a size and then trim it down by 1 inch?
That's the part that I don't know. I don't know how the coding is for this specific function, because the question would be, is the code reading off a table that is using a preset dimensions, or is the code taking this sizing selection and it automatically adjusts whatever's happening at the end, right? And because it's happening at the end, so it will happen at the end. You can manage each panel sizing manually. You can do that when you move the lines, the green lines on the panel on the wall. So it does do it, and the files that are being created is happening. The problem is that it's not happening at the beginning as a pre-selection. So we gotta see if we can actually do that at the beginning, because this is the thing that is happening too. This dimension that's happening here is also connected to the patterns that are here, right? So they already have pre-selected patterns that are created for each dimension, and it creates the individual patterns to the dimension that you're selected. So this is already happening. It's already pre-created. What we're asking now the tool to do is to say, whatever this X dimension is, when you enter it here, create a manual pattern. And right now,
Mhm.
currently, the tool has them pre-created. It's just selecting them. It's not creating them on the fly, right? So that's the part that might be a bit difficult in this case. Jonathan, we're gonna talk. Okay, we're gonna talk about this with the developers, and then once I do that, Derek, I'll talk to you about this one and the other request to see
Yeah.
what. And Emma talk to Freddie about this too. But
Mhm.
Jonathan, what are your thoughts about the team actually doing this a custom dimension? I'm thinking on the step where the lines are that you essentially just kind of create an array, right, of those lines. But that seems cumbersome, doesn't it?
It definitely would be, I mean, it would take a lot of time to edit all the lines just to get it to fit 1 extra inch.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely recommend this going the developer route and allowing custom scenarios.
Yeah,
But yeah, like you said, we should definitely talk to the devs and see how far they can get us that way.
Yeah, Jonathan's confirming what I was fearing. There is no easy workaround to change these dimensions currently, because you would have to adjust every single line and offset it one inch. And if your wall is very large, then you can imagine how many times you have to do that. That was the only way. So it is doable in your stage where the lines are traced and when you can adjust them, but it's not recommended because it would definitely take a long time currently, but you will take a lot of effort to do it. And the way you can do it is shifting the lines on the lines before you create them to panels. So depending on the needs currently, Tarek, if this is a project they're currently working on before this gets addressed, that's the only way to do it.
You
So
would have to, like, if you needed this to go 1 inch further, you can just grab.
those horizontal lines and then shift them all 1 inch. That's the way to do it. Yeah, see those lines?
So that's a temporary fix at the moment, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it would
the
be a
only
great
way.
workaround fix.
That's the only
But-
workaround, and as you can imagine, you have to do every row.
Yeah. But if you're like in a time crunch and you definitely need this to be done soon, this would be the only way to do it before the devs get their hands on this.
Yeah, before we determine what the effort is going to be behind this one. Can you, yeah, you have to do, that's the only way to do it, right, Jonathan, is highlighting each row of those horizontal lines, right? There's no other way?
Correct. Just because they're individual lines, yeah.
I want to give you something more for context because we get the CAD file as well, correct? So when we get the CAD file and based on it, we create the Revit file, and then if we do this manually, then the two files gonna start, I don't know. I probably got mixed in the technicality, but let me ask one more time clearly.
Okay, okay.
Hey, DG, I have a question. Can you guys zoom out one bit out of this? Yeah, no, zoom in on that wall. Is there a
Which
reason
one?
why it's not symmetrical?
It's the view. He's on a
I'm on
3D perspective view, so
Okay, so that's why
Yeah.
it's not symmetrical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
If I
caught
went to an elevation,
eye
that's
right now.
it's gonna iron out.
See, it's not symmetrical. Like it's not. Shouldn't it show that line at the peak and then
Oh, you're talking about this one here?
yeah, if you go back to that 3D.
That would be just here, let me move this.
Yeah,
There's
see,
phase
there's a step in the process
right
where
here.
that needs to be aligned there.
So if you wanted this to be, I'm on the right one.
I'm getting dizzy, Jonathan.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say that.
Which one was the one that was
That one.
Oh, it's because we edited. No, it was this one. We edited this one.
Oh, just because we edited? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was just looking at the wrong building. So if you wanted this to be straight in the pitch, basically, which I can't.
No,
get
for that one.
You
Well,
have
yeah,
to move
usually
this prior to the whole step of everything else.
Yeah,
So
it's like the first initial step. So the first step is it creates the pattern. Second step, it creates the lines of the pattern. You select it. The third step, it creates the panels, right? So then you would have to align this on the first step after the pattern gets applied. Then before it turns in, because right now what you see here on the green lines, that's after the fact.
Yeah, it
So
was
the
just
drafter
that
would
like
just have to go in.
symmetrical
Oh, my
wall.
bad.
It just gave me my OCD just.
No, that's okay. It
Very
makes sense too. I understand. I have a little bit of CD, so I understand. So that's
The right
that's
way to
part of
do
what the
it. No,
design
you're
team would
totally
do.
right.
Okay, the team. I think the team is ready for us. What did you think? Do you have any? You said you have more things about the context. What do you think?
No, I would just
We are always open for any sort of aside from how to use the tool or any trouble with the tools. If you do want any sort of training or troubleshooting and do the same thing we're doing, then remember that there is available time for us to do that with you. So feel free to schedule at any time another workout session like this. So we're available for that. It doesn't have to be every time you use the tool and there's an issue. It could just be, a pointers.
So what I would like to do is open a communication channel between you, me, and Software over here, our main Revit lead. And every time we go through a problem, not working or anything, I want to just send you an email and just start saving them, documenting them throughout the email. Is
All
that
right.
okay?
Yeah, that's fine. We could do it in several ways. So let's you and I talk about what's the best way to do it. We could do emails. We could do a different software that we use. We could use a Smartsheet. We could use Slack. Multiple ways to do it, and we can communicate that way. And then whenever we do need to do some sort of training session, we can do that because you do have our retainers for us to do this as often as needed. Okay, so the second thing on that is the second thing I was gonna say is we have two things. We're gonna go back to our development team, and not only that, but I will have to discuss further with you, Tarek, once I find out what the effort behind it is, to understand if this is within scope or out of scope. So that's what I will do. And then the third thing is we've gone through 4 different scenarios. No, 3 different scenarios in which it's more or less how to use the tool rather than the tool not working. And the last thing, we have how to answer that. I will find out why there's a difference between them because what's happening with 2022 is that the Autodesk is starting to slowly get into a point where they're removing support for the 2022 software. So our developing team is starting to shift into 2024. So most likely the 2022 files are still the same. It's just an upgraded. But what I will make sure with the team is that there should be the exact same thing, that there should not be any difference.
If you allow me to share my screen, I can show you very quickly so that you have reference. I do need permission.
All right, go.
So as you can see, this is the 2024 plan, and it has all these families over here, which are missing from the file that we received. And this is the Revit file version.
Got it. Let me see, trimming panels. Those were not part of the drop down link that I sent you without the things to download.
Sorry, was that question to me?
Are they part of the Dropbox file link that I sent you with the items to download? It's not part of that?
If I take the DJ drop down, yes, this is the file. This is the last file.
Okay, can you email me these 2 comparisons? I want to talk to the developer team to see what was missing there, why one file doesn't have the other ones. Okay?
Right. You got it.
Yeah, this should not be quickly. Okay, so I have 2 things to look for you. The difference between the files and the families missing. And then the other one is the issue with the offset line being from the wall. 2 things I will get an answer for you fairly quickly. Okay?
Just for your information's sake, we're using 2024.
Are you gonna continue to use 2024 moving forward?
For the moment, but of course we intend to upgrade. But for the moment, 2024.
Oh, yes, but you're not doing before earlier versions, right? You're not doing 2023 or 2022. Is it always gonna be 24 and up?
Are you using 2022, 23 use code? No.
Okay, that's good to know because then that's good feedback for the development team to make sure you optimize it to 2024 and nothing previous. Okay.
Right.
Great. Okay, so I'll send you as soon as this recording is ready. I'll send it over to you, and then we'll